Hello everyone. So today's question is from July Lead Coding Challenge Day 7 and it's called Island Perimeter. We have a 2D matrix or a grid of zeros and ones. 0 represents water and 1 represents land. Grid cells are connected horizontally and vertically, not diagonally. So from any given cell, you can only go up, down, right or left. Grid is surrounded by water. So we can imagine that our grid is part of a very large grid of zeros. There is exactly one island. It means that all ones in the grid are connected to each other, either directly or indirectly. So we can never see any grid like these. Each cell of this grid is a square of side length 1, and the grid is rectangular, where both width and height are not more than 100. We have to find the perimeter of this island. For example, we have a grid of all zeros and ones. There is exactly one island which has been highlighted, and we have to find the perimeter of this island. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now the question is, how do we solve it? Let's say we have a grid which contains a single one and all other elements are 0. So the total perimeter of this square island would be 4. Now, what if there are more number of ones? Because the problem statement says there is exactly one island, which means all ones are connected, we could have a new one adjacent to the old one. Let us say the new one is on the right side of the old one. So now, the contribution of old one in the total parameter would decrease by 1. Similarly, if there are two more ones other than the old one, the contribution of old one in the total parameter would decrease by 2. So can we say that for any one, the contribution in the total parameter would be 4 minus number of ones directly adjacent to it. Sounds good? Let's verify this on an example. So we have a grid of zeros and ones, and we need to sum up the contribution of all the ones in the total parameter. So for this one, we need to check the number of ones in the cells which are directly adjacent to it. So you see, the number of ones which are directly adjacent to this cell is 1. So its contribution in total perimeter would be 4 minus 1, that is 3. Now for this cell, for this one, the number of ones which are directly adjacent to it is 2. So its contribution would be 4 minus 2, that is 2. Similarly for this one, the contribution would be 4 minus 2, that is 2. Now for this last one, the contribution would be 4 minus 1, that is 3. So the total parameter of this island would be 10. Let us now frame these steps into an algorithm. The main idea is we sum up the total contribution to the total parameter by each one. So we initialize total parameter to be 0 initially, then we traverse the grid, and whenever we see a 1, we increase the total parameter by 4. Then we count the number of adjacent cells having 1. Then we need to decrease the total parameter like this. And at the end, we just return the total parameter, that is p. That's it. Let us quickly write a code. Initially, total parameter would be 0. Then we traverse the grid, and whenever we see a 1, we first update our total parameter like this. Then we are going to visit each one of the 4 adjacent cell to update the value of total parameter again. At the end, we are just going to return the total parameter so far. So that's it for today's video. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.